Front master rebuild on a KTM Husky gas. Give you some tips for it right now on the Brembo setup. So it's nice to have it completely on the bench here and strip it down as much as possible. We have the legit KTM kit for it. This is a master cylinder with just a few hours on it. Brand new bike, a 24, that we had some problems, bled it a bunch of times and could not ever get it right. So we're assuming there's something wrong internally. So we're gonna try this rebuild. We're gonna remove the lever. Pretty simple. Always keep track of that spring. So, and then pay attention to how this goes. And then this thing's got some grease on it, so it's a little hard to grab. So I'm gonna get some pliers. Nope. On this one, we pried the boot off because the boot had a tear real easy. So kind of surprising. Usually you can pull that out with your fingers. I had to try with my pliers and it wasn't great. So now at this point, we're gonna look at this little clip right here. And this is the clip that we need to move. And I'm gonna move it right to about there to get my pliers on it. So some snap ring pliers like this are what you need here. You could do it with some needle nose if you didn't have the full proper tool, and then that clip will come out just like that. Here's our plunger. I'm gonna inspect these seals. I'm not sure what I'm gonna find. I hope it's just one of these seals right here and not the actual bore in here. I just pulled out this little white piece out of here so that we get a clean shot all the way through here. I got a little bit of Scotch-Brite here that I'm just gonna rub through this bore just to maybe see if it can kind of hone it out. Now I'm gonna clean it with contact cleaner and blow it out with air. They supply you with a new spring, which will come right on here like that. And our clip, and they give you some assembly fluid, which in the past, we've just have used brake fluid. So if they give us this must be compatible with brake fluid, so it should be okay. And so we have some brake fluid like ready to go, and I can just drop it in. Don't want it dry. Then I can just place this in there like so, and you can, everything feels fine. And there we go. So it fell into place. So what we do now is come in here and turn this circlip, just like this. You want to turn it so that you know it's in the groove well. And then we're gonna go right here and push down on this piston up and down. We can add a little bit of brake fluid right in here if we so desire. And kind of get our piston working. Get to just kind of suck out everything it can. I'm gonna put this little white cap piece back in here, and you can kind of push down on it to where it pops into its home. It's pretty simple. Our little rubber boot, I think, can be a little tricky to get on. Our other one was pretty tight. Come down in here, and I want to just push while kind of holding it. So we've got our pen here. We're going to drop it in, and then I hold it, and then I'm going to pull the boot back and try to get it over that little groove, which is a little bit of a chore. There, I can back it off right, like almost. Okay, so just like that, put our lever on, which might actually be easier on the bike, but you can do it like this. And we want the spring to line up in that groove there. And when you tighten this up, it is a good idea to feel the lever before you get started bleeding, so that you don't, if you can over tighten it and the lever won't move fully. So lever still moves really nice. we're ready to go set it up and bleed it. So now we're gonna put some fluid in here. See, some people might wonder, hey, aren't you gonna get some air in the system? But no, not if you don't touch the lever. So now we're pumping that brake back up and pushing a little fluid down. Now we're gonna start our process. We get many comments on how we do this. People wonder about reverse bleeding. We've tried everything. This is the absolute best way we found. We can do a brand new line in no time with this system right here. So I have, you need two guys. I have Cody up top. He's gonna be pushing fluid down here. We'll catch that, and I'll be down on the bottom observing this process down here. I'm gonna position our wrench so that it's at the full closed position right here. I'm gonna set up our vacula like this. I'm gonna crack this. We're not gonna touch the lever up top at all. I'm gonna pull this and start pulling fluid out. And Cody will be up top filling as we go. Okay, now Cody's gonna pump the brake up top. Hold. Go. 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 Okay, we're gonna hold up right there. Hold up. Hold up. What's our fluid level at? At the line. At the line? Yep. Okay, hold it. Go. Should be done down here. Now, this is the key to the rest of our process is right now. When I say I move the caliper, what I do is I have my hands, and it can be sharp, so sometimes I'll use gloves or a rag, and I'm pushing like this with my hands against the caliper, and that's what's pushing fluid back up to our guy here. That's how we're gonna finish this process. Basically, I'm pushing fluid up. I'm trying to get to reverse bleed now with air going up. Cody's gonna pump the brake just a few times, just till it gets firm. We don't want to force too many bubbles down. Now, at this point, now here's the trick, is I'm gonna tap this line like this. I'm gonna tap this and tap this and tap this. This is forcing bubbles back up the line. And I'm gonna push this again. Let's go see if we can see any bubbles at the top. Bubbles. So we like to get 3 times with 0 bubbles. So now Cody, go ahead. So I'm gonna tap again, trying to get all the bubbles to go up, and I'm gonna push it. Here we go. Got bubbles. My bubbles. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. We got bubbles again. This brake's gonna feel amazing when we get all these out of here. One, 2, 3. Bubbles. No bubbles. So that's our first one with no bubbles. So we like to have 3 of these with 0 bubbles. I don't want to cut any corners. Sometimes we'll get 2, and then that third one will have a bubble. All it takes is 1 bubble. So our rule is 3 with no bubbles. 2, 3. My bubbles. We got bubbles. So we only had 1 with no bubbles. We got to start our count over. 1, 2, 3. Bubbles. Oh man. 3. No bubbles. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2. No bubbles. No bubbles. That's 3. Okay, so that's a pretty cool feeling. I actually worked up a tiny bit of sweat doing that. It took like 3 or 4 minutes of that part of it, but forcing that fluid back up just works really well. We've had really good luck with that way after we have got, you know, say 90% of the bleeding done down low. We just filled up our fluid level to where it needs to be, and we can put our cap back on. Drop in our little styrofoam piece, and we're gonna put in our little rubber piece right there. We're gonna drop our cover on. Got a little excess coming out, no problem. The thing I like to do is put a tiny bit of grease on these parts right there, and then on the threads of the screws, just like that. So you see I'm using the Tusk screwdriver. This is a JIS screwdriver, Japanese Industrial Standard. We're gonna screw that on just like that. And you just get them good and snug. And this screwdriver fits those perfectly. The Tusk one, you can go to our links to check that out. I'm gonna wipe off our excess. Put a little brake cleaner on my rag. I'm gonna come through here. And this is a show bike that's gonna get shot here soon. Vacula, or any type of pneumatic bleeder helps a ton. So make sure you have a good pneumatic bleeder. If you're gonna be riding dirt bikes for a long time, you're gonna wanna keep up on those brakes. And this thing feels amazing like this. I'm gonna give you one last tip to let this thing ensure that it's perfect. Okay, so right here I have this little tool, Tech167 on the Instagram makes this little cool 3D printed one. You don't have to use a tool like this. You can just zip tie it, but this is a pretty nice, cool thing to have. You just have them hanging in the shop. This is putting pressure on that brake line, on this brake right here. Any residual bubbles will seep up through here and come out overnight. So hopefully that helps you out when it goes to rebuilding your master on your Brembo KTM style brake. And get out there and ride. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.